1 second. 1 second. We're almost ready. Give me a second. Welcome back. eSIM Studios podcast episode. What are we? Live stream episode number 77? I believe 77. I think so. I got it mixed up earlier and now I can't remember. Let me turn on the volume just a little bit. So, as always, running late. Do apologize. Will be a quick one. Can't stay too late. I do have some news articles to dive into. Also have a new YouTube channel that really good idea. It's going to be, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. It's going to be a YouTube channel, really good idea, consisting of basically the best of YouTube. Now, I kind of consider myself part of the best of, quote unquote. Maybe pumping myself up a little bit, but it is what it is. But when it comes to tech news and I started actually recording reviews again now that my mom, that's kind of put behind us and I don't have to go to the hospital all the time, and because that cut into my reviewing stuff, because not only do I live stream, but I actually upload content, right? Reviews, unboxings, stuff like that. Getting back to that today. So we're going to have a all-star lineup of hosts. So it's going to be myself, a couple other people. It's going to be a YouTube channel. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. Live streams, uploaded content. It's going to be technology, sports, and entertainment. Sounds like a good idea for a YouTube channel. So it's going to be one of a kind. I personally don't know of any other channel like it. Typically, channels are just focused on one thing. We're going to basically create this like a TV channel. Basically, right? So it may be me live streaming about technology every day between 4 to 4:30. And then we'll have an entertainment show from 7 to 10, and then as we get more popular hosts on board, they may do an overnight stream, right? Or in the morning, I might do a upload content of a review of a smartwatch, and then midday we're going to have NFL breakdown, right? Once the NFL season gets going, we're going to break down the games, Mondays, Fridays, all that good stuff. So let me show you real quick. I thought I had this open, but I guess I don't. Let's see. So check it out. It's going to look like this. Now, I'm currently live streaming on it. Let's see here. May have to open up this window. Okay. So this is what it's going to... That's me. I'm currently live streaming on the channel at the moment. And not only my eSIM Studios, my main hub. That's where I got most subscribers, but I'm also gonna the channel that we're speaking of here, Sector Stars, meaning like the best of that YouTube has to offer. So there's different sectors of YouTube, right? You got sports channels, people that just focus on sports. And you got people that all they do is technology, right? And you got some people all they do is whatever, entertainment, what have you. Relationship stuff. This is going to be the best of, again. So each sector that trust me, they're good hosts, really good shows, very entertaining. We're not gonna have any dopes on here, boring stuff. Very entertaining, I can promise you that. So we're gonna continue to promote this. Really, really cool. But this is the channel. I'm going to link it in the description of the video. So I encourage everybody to please go check this out. Again, nothing like it on YouTube. So kind of one of a kind. Hey, how's it going, Daniel? And how are you doing, sir? Pixel 9 Pro XL all day. Man, you are hyped about that Pixel 9 Pro XL, aren't you? I am too, honestly. The way that they redesign it, I believe they're going to get the dimensions just right. Because remember, the OG Pixel Fold, kind of short, kind of fat. Yeah, I didn't like the design. So I'm glad that they're going to totally redesign it, put the new CPU in there. They're doing all the right things. It looks like it's going to be a smash hit. and there's one of the hosts right there, Ashton Weems. And that's going to join me on this new channel that you can see right here. He'll be live streaming his show. He'll do original content on this channel. And can't wait for everybody to check this out. So it's really, really, really cool. Let's see. Oh, something else. Hang on. Let's see here. So I also got. Damn, where did that link go? I got so many browsers open. Y'all would be amazed at how many Chrome tabs I have open, how many email addresses I have. Y'all would be amazed. I think I have, I don't know, 20. Like it's gotten to the point where it's like, God damn it, that's a lot to deal with. But why don't we just do this? So I got this going now. So anybody that's interested in unlocking phones, how to remove a phone from the blacklist. I'm whispering because it's a secret, right? It's like a secret society. I got it already here, developed by yours truly. We made this from the ground up. We have the list here. You know, I'm building it every day, right? But I got to the point where I can put it online. So a bunch of different how-tos, guides, things of all the sort. See how to do this. I got everything there for you. I'm gonna put videos. I'm gonna put all sorts of cool stuff. So definitely check that out. And I have it linked in the description below. And then also for all the news. Go here. techstudios.app, right? .app. So it's a progressive web app. It'll install on your phone, whether it's Android, iPhone, tablet, Samsung tablet, iPad. Just go to techstudios.app and it'll install on your device like an app, right? But the cool thing is I do all the updating. You don't have to go to an app store and update it. I do all of that from behind the scenes, basically. So we have that as well, right? So Daniel says, you tried the Arc browser for Windows that just came out. No, you know what? I saw something about that in the news. And I was going to try it out and just forgot about it. Where do you download it from? Is there a website you download software, or is it in the Windows App Store, which I hate? So slow, man. Windows App Store, God, it's so slow. No, I haven't, but thank you. And I was gonna do a video about that too, and I just forgot. I will definitely do that whenever we get offline here. But yeah, I guess I could obviously Google it to find out. Just search Arc browser. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely do that here once this is done with. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Let's do this. So we actually got news that the Pixel 8a price. So we got some interesting news, right? We had gotten I guess the news that I had reported on for the last couple weeks was semi-correct. We got some clarification today. The Pixel 8a, seemingly the launch is just right around the corner, right? It's what, 2 weeks from now? Google I/O, May 14th is when they're going to launch the Pixel 8a. And when I mentioned I got it semi-right, let me explain. So I had reported that the price of the Pixel 8a was going to raise, right? It was going to get even more expensive this year, which just came off a price increase from the 7a, from the 6a, right? So the 6a I think was at $399. It's been that way for a while. The 7a was $449, right? Oh no. Hang on. The Pixel, damn it, man. I had this. The Pixel 8a, excuse me, the Pixel 6a came in at $449. Hang on. Sorry. They've changed the price so much on this damn thing. It used to be really, really super affordable. So the Pixel 7a launched at $499. Okay. Now that is up from the Pixel 6a, which launched, I believe, at $449, which was up from the Pixel 5a and 4a, which started at $399. So seemingly every year, it's increased $50, $50, $50 for the last few years. I apologize. That's the point I was trying to get at. This year, there was reports that it was going to continue that trend where the Pixel 8a was going to increase another $50 and basically be $549, $550, which if they continue this trend, they're going to creep up on the lower base model of their flagship series. And kind of makes you wonder, when is it gonna plateau? When are they going to stop increasing the price on this? Because as you all know, the A series was basically the best phone you could buy for the price. It was the best performing, best phone you could buy at the cheapest price, and that it was a no-brainer. It wasn't even close. Now, ironically, the Nothing Phone 2a has taken the place of that. I'm wrapping up my video on this 2a, the Nothing Phone 2a. It has taken that mantle of the best phone you can buy for the cheapest price. It's phenomenal. Again, I cannot tell the difference when I'm using the $700 Nothing Phone 2 and the $350 Nothing Phone 2a. But let's get back to the Pixel. So I mentioned I was semi-right, and that is because they are increasing the price of the Pixel 8a. Well, say what? I thought you said they're keeping it the same price. Well, here's the deal. For the 128 gig base storage model of the Pixel 8a, it's going to remain the same, $499. So it's going to remain the same as the Pixel 7a for the 128 gig. So they're not increasing the price on the base storage model. However, this year is the very first year that they're going to introduce a larger storage variant, a larger storage option. So Google's going to introduce a 256 gig Pixel 8a, which is bravo. We need to do away with 128 gigs all across the board. I don't care, flagship, mid-range. Hell, even the cheap versions that you get free at the carriers. Just do away with 128. Doesn't make sense anymore. We've passed the point of, I believe, of offering 128 gigs because apps gotten bigger, data's gotten bigger across the board. That 128 gigs goes quick. Now, where I was semi-right is that, where I was semi-true, is that, yeah, the Pixel 8a is going to see a price increase only on the upgraded variant. So the Pixel 8a 256 gig variant is going to be what is it going to be, $549. So they're going to ask another $50 on top of the what they're asking for the base model at 128, right? Which makes sense. You see that it's pretty common for a price difference between a storage variant, one bump up from the base models, typically about $50, because these manufacturers can get those storage upgrades as far as how much they pay for them at a relatively cheaper price as time goes on. So you typically see a $50 increase of a 256 variant compared to a 128, right? And here's the price that I was looking at for the 7A that launched. So again, the Pixel 8A is going to the base model $499 as the 7A, and then we're looking at $549 for, I can't believe I'm saying that, for the A series, $549 for the 256 gig variant. Now, look, you still get a decent phone, right? They're increasing the refresh rate to 120 hertz this year, which was at 90, I believe, for this past 7A, 90 hertz. You're getting the flagship. Well, I take that back. Well, it's still technically flagship CPU, but you're getting the Tensor G3. You're getting really, really good cameras, a really good software experience. They're going to introduce 7-year software upgrades for this device. So, they're going to introduce a couple different colors, right? So look, it looks like even I was incorrect. And so instead of saying $549 for the 256, The Verge is reporting the 256 variant of the Pixel 8A is going to cost $559. It gets more expensive every freaking year. And heading towards their flagship series, look, I think the flagship Pixel, what did the Pixel 8 start at? Let's see the price difference. So, look at this. You can get a Pixel 8 for $549 at the Google Play Store. Now, that's for the 128 variant. $549. So they're going to ask $10 more for technically a lesser model than their cheaper flagship model, if that can make any sense. But I know it's pretty confusing right now, but observing Google's roadmap for their Pixel devices here on out, I think you're going to see them straighten out everything here in the next year, maybe 18 months, possibly 2 years. But I think it just takes time to adjust these models and adjust the pricing and where they sit at each price, right? Because it's clear the A series is right up there with their cheaper flagship model. And look, you can't do that for too long, because then nobody's going to buy the cheaper flagship model. Nobody's going to buy it. Everybody's going to, or whatever the cheaper one is. So everybody's either going to buy the Pixel 8 or the 8A, right, moving forward. So what they're doing is, I think you're going to see some clarity moving forward. As we know, they're going to release the Pixel 9 Pro XL, the big one. And then they're going to release a Pixel 9 Pro, a small Pro one. Bear with me, I know this is confusing. And then they're going to release a Pixel 9, which will be a smaller version, watered down specs, not as good as the Pro or the Pro XL. And can't forget about the Pixel 9 Pro XL, the foldable, which will be released alongside all the other flagships. But here's what I'm getting at. So not this year for the Pixel 9 series. The 8A will still be out. And I never liked it at the very beginning, how they overlap the A series every 6 months, and then you get the flagships, and then 6 months later you get the A series, and then six months later you get the flagship. with the Pixel 10, not only are they going to introduce a brand new CPU built by Google from the ground up, but I believe Pixel 10 series, so we're about another 18 months away, is when they are going to finalize and at least stamp their release schedule, their devices that they release, all at the same time. I don't think we're going to have any price overlapping like we're having here with the Pixel 8a and the Pixel 8. I think what they're going to do is they're going to make the cheaper flagship version the A series, and then they're going to have a so check this out. So we're going to have, I believe, I don't have any knowledge or anything, but looking at their roadmap, they do say that they are going to release certain devices. They just don't say what they are, but you know, like people like me or you, or I'm sure Daniel, even this gentleman right here, Toby's, could figure it out. It's not rocket science if you just think about it. So with the 10, they'll release a Pixel 10a, which will be their cheaper version, and I believe they're going to release them all on the same day. So no more flip-flop every 6 months. Pixel 10a, Pixel 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL, and then the Pixel 10 Pro XL Fold, right? Whatever you want to call it. So anyways, that's a ways down the road, but news today is at the Pixel 8a. We did get a little clarity on the price. Base model is going to remain $499, and the upgraded 256 gig variant is going to come in at $559. We'll have to see how the sales do. I just don't know. You know, it's up in the air, right? It could go either way. It honestly could go either way. So since I don't buy 128 gigs, because here's the deal, the Pixel 8 at that same price, that's 128 gigs, right? So why don't you see what I'm saying right here? Pixel 8, 128 for $549. Or you can get the Pixel 8a, 256 gigs for $559. So it's almost a no-brainer to get the Pixel 8a for $559 over the Pixel 8 128 gig at $549. See what I'm saying? Get more bang for your buck, and you get greater storage capacity. So one of those two devices are not going to sell, and you can't do that as a manufacturer in retail. Have two similar models competing against each other, and one is just a clear winner over the other, and then nobody buys the other model, and then you're just wasting money manufacturing it and promoting it. So they'll fix it up. I think they're going to get I think Google's going to get their shit together with these devices on the 10 series. It just takes a little while to get there, right? Takes a little while to get there, but definitely cannot wait. Still going to try to go to the launch this year. Should be fun. They invited me last year, and I just could not get to it. So this year, I hope we will be able to go to the launch of this. But let's see. Samsung. Speaking of sales, there were two news articles that came out today, right? So the S24 broke sales records. So it's quite a big number here, right? So look at this number. Very big number. Samsung made $51 billion in quarter one, right? Just a few months, thanks to the Samsung Galaxy S24. Now, is it all S24 sales? No, but that's what spurred a large portion of the revenue. Now, Samsung also they make a lot of stuff. Now, when they say Samsung, they're talking about every division all in one, Samsung under an umbrella. Their mobile division is the most popular, but remember, they also make washers and dryers. They also make refrigerators. They also make vacuums, air purifiers, all sorts of crap, smartwatches. By the way, I've heard their appliances suck, but I haven't bought a Samsung appliance yet, but their phones are badass. So Samsung's first quarter of 2024 numbers show a lot of success, right? Revenue around $51 billion. The operating profit of over $4 billion than last quarter or last year at this time. High demand for memory, right? They also manufacture SSDs, right? Tons of memory chips. Hell, even iPhone. You have, I guarantee you, whatever iPhone you have, if you're watching this, if you open it up, you're going to see a Samsung part in there. It's just, it is what it is right now. I think Apple's trying to phase that out, but as we speak, Samsung's got their hands in a lot of different areas in the consumer electronics world. But they are focusing and spending a lot of money on R&D. They have new processors, new chips, new memory technology that they're always working on. But we see from the sales of this S24 series, it does far outperform last year's model, the S23 series. Now, does that fall? Is that because of the upgrade recycle period, right? So typically every 2 years in the US. Now, this is for the world, right? But here in the US, their reports are for the world. But here in the US, upgrade cycle, well, it's every 2 to 3 years. We did see a not so great numbers with the S23 and less than great numbers with the S21. I knew this year was going to be huge for them because that upgrade cycle, you can just see by the numbers here in the US, every 2 to 3 years is typically when people upgrade through the carriers. And this was a upgrade year, basically. And I knew the numbers were going to be big. Plus, they put out a good product, right? And the whole AI thing, they got you with that one, huh? Yes, I know. Let's see. By the way, I dropped my S20, no, not the Ultra, but the Plus, and I freaking scratched the damn thing. Pissed off. So let's see, sales increase. Not only was it noticeable in the US, sales in the US rose 14%. 14% better sales with the S24 series. Now it's S24, S24 Plus, S24 Ultra. 14% better sales than last year's models, the S23. But it was also like that all over the world. So in the UK, Germany, France, the S24 series, sales jumped 28% better than the S23 series. That's a lot. 28% is a lot. Now, I don't know what their upgrade schedule is like over there, but whatever the reason, that's a lot of that's a huge increase. And look, smartphone sales, as we know, electronic sales haven't been the greatest during these last couple of years with the pandemic. It was a fact. Sales were just down. They just were. Was it due to the upgrade cycle? Maybe, but I think a large part of it was also due to the pandemic, right? People at the beginning were getting laid off. People were having to make that hard decision versus needs versus wants. If you didn't really need it, if you didn't really want it, you didn't buy it. You only made big purchases if you absolutely had to have something, right? And I believe that's what we were seeing. And as we get a little farther away from that, back to normalcy, people are starting to spend a little more money, although the inflation is kind of getting out of hand, right? But it is what it is. Good news for Samsung, nonetheless, right? And then we did get a leak on the S. I was looking at this phone right here. I was like, damn, it's a nice phone. And then I remembered I scratched mine. God damn it. Let me see. It's really not that bad of a scratch. But when you're kind of OCD like I am, you can tell, right? So I don't even know if you can see on here. Did it right by the freaking power button. Pisses me off. See that? Right there. See that? God damn it. Should have had a case on it. I was feeling good, walking around the house the last few weeks with no cases on my phones. I was like, man. And then, what do you know? Last night, slips out of the hand. Boom. Lands on my metal desk frame and it on the floor, and it just... Oh, boy. Actually, I think it... Oh, whatever. Okay. News S25. What do we know about the S25? Not much. But we do know it's going to have the brand new... Samsung will come up with all sorts of cool stuff for the launch of it. But what we do know, this one's going to be fairly different. And it's quite a risk for Samsung. The S25 series is going to have a all-new design. So they are not going to have the typical three-ring cameras, three-ring camera setup like you see on the back of these devices. All new design for the S25 series. We know that. So it will look different, which could or could not, help sales. If it looks ugly, people might not buy it. So if it looks cool, I'm sure it'll help, right? So we know that there's going to be a design change. We do know there's going to be a brand new processor in there, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. Badass, I'm sure. And they'll probably, talk about the AI stuff that's going to be on there, which, whatever, you got to deal with. And we did get some information today in regards to another component inside the device that may or may not be news to you, but it is news nonetheless. And let me pull it up. Now I think this is a little clickbait, but if you look at the article right here, check this out. So the S25 Ultra, their biggest and best phone next year, the battery is going to remain the same. Now, I don't know why they said bad news. Why I don't understand why that's a bad thing. As long as it didn't reduce in size, that's fine. But today's the first day we actually got specifics. So they're gonna keep the same 5,000, and that's a huge battery. For people not familiar with numbers or battery sizes inside phones, which I'm sure most of y'all aren't, except geeks and nerds like myself, and I'm sure a few watching. 5,000 milliamp per hour battery is a very big battery. There's only maybe one or two other devices in the whole world, cell phones, that have a bigger battery. So them going down in battery size, that would be a little disappointing, or AKA maybe a little bad news. But as long as it's not going down, no harm, no foul. It's a really good battery life, especially with the next generation processor. Should be theoretically more efficient. So might be able to squeeze a little more battery life out of the S25 Ultra. It looks like we are not going to see a charging speed increase until the S26 Ultra. It looks like it's going to remain the same. The S25 Ultra I'm talking about in the future the charging speed is going to remain the same as the current S24 Ultra at 45 watts. Now, we're looking into the future. The S26 Ultra, I know it's ways away, but it is what it is. So not next year's flagship from Samsung, but the following year is going to have, they're going to bump the charging speed, thank God, to 65 watts. So you will see 65 watts be introduced to the S26 Ultra, not to the S25 Ultra, which that's one of the few things. Look, Samsung's almost perfected the mobile device. However, charging speed is where they're kind of lacking. I wish it would charge from 0 to 100 in 20 minutes or 30 minutes, like some other devices do, specifically OnePlus or Xiaomi. Some of the Chinese devices charge, actually, they make one right now, charges from 0 to 100 in 19 minutes. 19 minutes. This phone, for comparison, takes like over an hour, like an hour and 15 minutes. And that's mainly because the battery's so big, right? The bigger the battery, the longer it's going to take to charge. But if you can supply it more power, faster current, I should say, it'll charge faster. And Samsung has slowly increasing their charging speeds, but they'll take a break. They'll sit on 45 watts like they're doing for this one for a few years. And then, as we mentioned, S26 Ultra, a couple years later, they'll bump it up, and they'll probably sit on that for a few more years, and then probably bump it up down the line, right? But they were stuck on, 25 watts forever with some of their Samsung devices. Very frustrating. Very frustrating when you see other phones out here charge literally, you can jump in the shower real quick, hop out, and your phone's fully charged, right? With that technology out there, I just don't see the reason why not. Now, the only thing I can think of is they're still maybe a little hesitant to push that much power. Because look, when you can charge a phone from 0 to 100 in 19 minutes, that's pushing some power. That's a lot of current. Now, these smartphones have gotten very, very good at handling that power, basically. I wonder if the debacle of the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 is still hindering their, or maybe it's, well, let me take it. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 was the infamous exploding phone. When was that? Let's see. So if we're on S24, of course, they skipped the numbering system. So I don't know. It was probably about 6-7 years ago, right? Note 7 came out, and then all of a sudden a lot of them started catching on fire. I believe it was specifically when charging, though, is when it happened. I had gotten a couple at that time, and had to return it. They were basically forcing everybody to return your phone, and if you refused, they would simply lock your phone and return and lock it down. Now, they were offering free replacements to their next level flagship device, but nonetheless, huge headache, huge embarrassment for an enormous technology company like Samsung. Cost them billions of dollars, cost people that were in charge, cost a lot of people their jobs at Samsung that simply overlooked this mishap, right? Quality control type deal. So I wonder if that has anything to do with why they're so hesitant to increase the charging of any of their devices. I think it does. I believe it does. Of course, we don't have any evidence to support that, but I still think it does a little bit. But look, they have some really, really, really fast charging phones, and you really don't hear about this stuff, this blowing up stuff anymore. So as technology gets better, as time goes on, hopefully that'll be a thing in the past, right? I did hear one or two things about a OnePlus phone back maybe a year or two ago. And actually, you know what? We have Google. Let's use it. Actually, I think I activated Google AI on my search. Hang on, let me blow my nose. Let's see here. Hang on, let me search for this real quick. All right, so check this out. I did activate Google AI in my Google search, and look what I searched here. OnePlus exploding phone, right? And this is the answer that I got back from Google AI. A OnePlus phone battery may explode if the processor is stressed and the battery overheats. This could happen if heavy-duty Android apps are running in the background while the phone is charging. Wow, that doesn't sound too encouraging. In fact, that would discourage a lot of people from reading that statement. Now, AI came up with that answer, not a publisher or an online article or an actual human didn't write that. Because when you read that, you're like, whoa, shit, like I'm not ever buying a OnePlus phone. I've had tons of OnePlus phones, never had an issue, honestly. Not really one issue ever that I can think of. But reading that makes you second guess getting a OnePlus phone. So I don't want this to scare anybody or discourage people. Now, this was a couple years ago. So since then, since this mishap, I can't think of any incidences that OnePlus has had in regards to exploding phones, quote unquote. I think most of the industry, the cell phone industry, I hope, has kind of gotten the exploding phone thing phased out. All right, they've kind of figured it out. They've kind of fine-tuned these phones to where they just won't happen, because they cannot. Look, I think in the Samsung case, did somebody die? I think. Of course, I have Google here, but look, it's not good. You get fined billions of dollars, and you lose revenue, and it costs people, high-level executives, their jobs. So that's at the very top of their list. It was the Nord 2 here, it looks like, which I had that one. See, this is back in 2021. It was a really good phone. Look at this picture. Now, that's a little older phone, right? That looks like a OnePlus One. See that battery? Now, let's look at a more current phone, because that's like a 10-year-old phone. I'm not talking about that one. Look at this one. Here's the Nord, the one that's the more recent one. Those, 2021 they said? Look at this. See? When they were plugged in. That's not good. And again, those are OnePlus traditionally has been the fastest charging phone, but since then, Realme, other Chinese manufacturers like Xiaomi, they're basically neck and neck with the quote-unquote fastest charging phone. But again, there are Realme has a Chinese brand, has a phone that charges from 0 to 100 in 19 minutes. Typical OnePlus phone, right? Like your OnePlus flagship. And now look, the phones that get released overseas, the Chinese versions actually charge even faster, because they allow, I believe it's up to 260 watts charging in a small mobile device, which is a lot of power. And then typically you'll see a phone that was meant for the United States. I believe their charging is 180 watts, I believe. Now, you can get a 240 watt charging phone and or charger here in the US. It just has to be a quote-unquote global version of that device. But they tend to charge a little quicker, a few minutes faster. Anyways, definitely charge 0 to 100 in less than 30 minutes, right? That's kind of been the standard of a really, really fast charging phone. Can you get it from 0 to 100 in 30 minutes? That's kind of been the benchmark for a quote-unquote fast charging phone. Samsung's still at like an hour and 15 minutes. And that depends on what charger you use, may I add. Here's another one. Damn, actually OnePlus had quite a few, right? Now these are fairly recent. Samsung's very lucky that their Note 7 that blew up, that fiasco, that was like 10 years ago. that was really before all the social media was really, really popular like it is today. Could you imagine how much shit they would get for a S24 exploding problem, where you know they have all these phones blowing up? It would be all over social media. It would be the talk of social media, no matter, and it would reach every corner of the internet. Somebody, right? Because I think even when the Note 7 started blowing up, I think my grandpa mentioned something about, we hear about that Samsung phone that's blowing up, and he doesn't, he's not up to date with with technology news and all this stuff. So if he hears about it, yeah, it's reaching every part of the internet. This didn't get too much news, at least here in America, because all these phones, these OnePlus phones that basically blew up, were all outside the US because it was on a model that they did not sell in the United States. Now you can buy one, you can go to AliExpress and buy one, but there was not a case in the US. This was all in India, China, Pakistan, stuff like that, where this happened. So that's why it did not make real big news here in the US. I heard it obviously because I keep my eyes and ears on tech stories. But this was a relatively big thing in the tech world, just not in the United States per se. Wow, look at those things. OnePlus Nord 2 allegedly explodes again. I think they got it under wraps because since that model, I haven't heard anything, right? So we're in 2024, and they had this exploding phone issue in late 2021 and at the beginning of 2022. So they've had a number of phones be released, because remember, they release flagships every 6 months. It was just until now that they're going back to a 1-year release schedule. But that's, 4 or 5 flagships that have been released since then, and no exploding phones. Now, these exploding phones weren't on their flagship devices. It was more on the mid-range devices. But since then, you haven't heard anything for the last, 2 years? So 2.5 years. So I think they've, hopefully gotten their shit together, and you just don't see much of this anymore. Knock on wood, right? What's going on, Bama fan? Yeah. He says the only thing that would make him upgrade is an SD card slot and a bigger battery. Yeah. Unfortunately, SD thing is dead. I mean, I shouldn't say dead, but the way things are going, I doubt they'll return. You'll see a return of an SD card slot. Bigger battery definitely is in the future. The best bet, something that obviously is bigger than an SD card, but let me show you real quick. I got something here that I've kind of replaced as my SD card external storage, shall I say, which has kind of taken the place of my SD card. Hang on. Okay, is this. So, in place of an SD card, which unfortunately I doubt is coming back. Now, they have mounts. I'm trying to look for mine. Where is it? I think it's down here. Hang on. I have a drawer down there that keeps some loose electronics in. I don't have it near with me, but I did review it a few months ago. The Brabus phone mount that has HDMI out on the back. It's basically a phone mount you put your phone into, HDMI out, so you can plug your phone into an external monitor. Those things have physical SD card slots for the regular size one and the micro SD card. And then, yeah, I got stuff all over here. Check this out. Okay, so if you want to connect external storage to one device, you can get one of these, right? Yeah. Mess. Get one of these. So what this is, now this is fast, way faster than a SD card. Like, I want to say 20 times faster. It's faster than that. What it is it's an external storage, right? So the USB Type-C, and then you can simply take it out. Now, it's a little more expensive. I think this case is $20. But it does have so you can plug in, like an M.2 SSD that goes in your laptop, that goes in a PC, the MVNE storage M.2. You can buy one any size, right? I think the cheapest ones, they're 128 gigs. I think you can get them for like $40 now on Amazon. So you're looking at base cost is like $60. Now, yes, it's more expensive than the micro SD card, but again, way faster. And you can take it out and put another one in, stuff like that. And then you can simply plug it in here. If I can remember how this goes on, just like that, just slides in there like this, clicks in there. And speaking of OnePlus, I have a famous OnePlus red cable club. Yes, I'm still a member. And you simply plug the one end of the USB Type-C into the into here, and then plug the other end into your phone. See, the phone picks up that you plugged this in, and then look, you see the light. Where are we at? See the light there, the blue light that's shining right next to the cable? So this phone powers this super fast data transfer. Now, what if you want to transfer what if you want to hook multiple devices up to this that a typical micro SD card cannot do? Because remember, they go into a single device. Well, that's where this comes in, right? So look at this. It's a USB Type-C hub. So it's got Type-C charging port. You can plug into a computer, into your main source. All right. So you can plug it in if you got S24 or a laptop, either one. It really doesn't matter which one you plug it into. But I plugged this S24 into the USB Type-C hub, right? And then you can take your external storage that you have here, and you can simply plug it in to one of these slots here. All right, so I got the S24 hooked up to the external storage, and see, it's still, the light's on, it's still powering it, power going through here. Then if you wanted to hook up another phone, you can hook up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devices. So let's say I want to plug in my S24 Plus. So I take another cable, plug it into S24 Plus, and then plug this other end of the cable into the hub. And then what do you know? I got it hooked up, so I can transfer photos, videos, music, MP3 files, whatever you want, from device to device, or to device to external storage and it's all connected through that USB Type-C hub. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's not. Again, unfortunately, I used to love those things too. Unfortunately, I don't think SD card access is back, but there are workarounds, and that's just one, for example, right? But anyways, I believe that's it for the news that I was going to get into. I do have to do some case reviews. I'm going to start recording for Crave. I guess you can't. Can you see behind me? I got a bunch of cases back here. So we're going to record case reviews for Crave. I've been using it on my S24. Oh, I just took it off. But if you've seen my S24 over the last week, I've had Crave cases on all of my devices for the last week. I like to use the cases before I do the review. Unlike all the other tech YouTube channels where when they get a case in to review, they'll just simply basically get it in the mail and do the unboxing of the case and then put it on the phone. It really doesn't do any help. I mean, you get to see what it looks like on the phone, but you don't get the experience, right? What if there's little something about the manufacturing process that bugs the hell out of you that you won't know until you get it, and start using it. Well, that's why I like to start using them first and then review it. It's not really a review if you just take it out of the box and slap it on your phone, right? It's kind of cheating, but we actually use ours. That's why I like to say we do the best case reviews on YouTube. So stay tuned. If you have a S24 series, if you have a Nothing phone, if you have a Pixel, if you have a iPhone, that's only when I pull my iPhones out, just to do case reviews. But we're going to do Crave case reviews recording tonight, and I'm going to upload tomorrow. So be on the lookout for those. I do appreciate everyone for joining in today. And I am scheduling and or planning a giveaway. I think every Friday we're going to do a giveaway. I think when we started out, we did like every day. But every Friday, I'll put a community post out reminding everybody. Every Friday we'll do a giveaway, and as a couple people in the chat know, I think almost everybody has been a winner that's in the chat. We do giveaways here, so every Friday we will do giveaways, and we are going to start uploading more content again now that I have a little more time to record and edit videos and stuff like that. So I do appreciate everybody's time. It is about that time to where I need to log off. So thank you very much, everybody listening. Don't forget, you can take us anywhere you go. You can take us with you on every podcast platform available. Spotify is cool because it's almost it is like YouTube, where you can listen to the audio version or you can watch it. I upload the MP4, so it's the video and audio. So with Spotify, you can just listen to the audio if you want to, or you can watch it like YouTube. But we're also on Apple Podcasts, we're on iHeartRadio app, we're on Amazon Music, anywhere. I said anywhere. So wherever you get your podcast, simply type in eSIM Studios, and we will pop up. Don't forget, as we get out of here, don't forget about these two, and I'm gonna have them linked in the description. Now, some of y'all will, I'm sure, find this very useful, and some might not, but that's totally fine. So we have this right here, and then we also have this for the news. So everything is in the description box below, and we will continue to keep this one rolling. How's it going, sir? Hope you're having a good afternoon. Catch the replay if you want. And you know, another thing, I need to get fast soon when I start the stream. I like to, share the link via social media, stuff like that. But replay is much better when you hit play when the videos start, when I start talking, right? Or when you first get the content, because there's like a 2 to 3 to 5 minute buffer zone where anyways, that's some behind the scenes stuff that I'll get better at, because it's better for the replay, right? So I'll get better as soon as I hit live. I'll jump on the mic and we'll go live. So thank you. Again, Fridays are the giveaways, and tomorrow we'll be back. Can't wait to start. I get a bunch of stuff, right? So since I haven't been uploading content, I got this list of like videos to make. So I'm actually really excited to start recording here. Not only the case reviews, but app reviews. I got a bunch. I got stuff that people have, companies have sent in that products for me to review that I got to record, and then do a bunch of fun stuff, right? A bunch of fun stuff. So be on the lookout for a bunch of pre-recorded, uploaded, fun technology content videos. We are getting back to uploading, so we're going to continue the live stream. We're going to live stream every day as normal, but we're going to get back to uploading. So appreciate it, guys. Guys and girls, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.